Folks, join me in welcoming our second guest this evening. Baylor women's tennis coach Joey Scrivano is here. Welcome to you.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Thanks for being here.
Yep.
And we were talking, I know you were here, and you heard our closing line of questioning with Casey talking about her family and how much they love the horses and have their own horses and all that good stuff. So we're going to start with family with you.
Yeah.
One of your boys is sick, so they're not here, so we miss them tonight.
Yeah, it's not the same without them there.
Right.
They love the show and they love being a part of it. So, and they also have some good questions. So
they do. I'm missing their questions already. So that's fun. Well, I hope whichever one it is, hope he's okay and nothing serious.
Yeah, it's Nico. He'll be okay. He'll be all right.
All right, very good. How are you doing? How's everything going? Heading into senior night coming up on Saturday.
That's right. Yeah, no, all's well. We had a great road trip in Arizona, so we're coming off 2 really good wins there. And it's been a busy week preparing for TCU this Saturday at 2.
Yeah. In Arizona was the first one. First one was 4-0. Was that Arizona?
Yes, that was against University of Arizona.
Okay, what a great win that was.
Yeah, that was a really great win. The score didn't really totally depict the actual match.
Really?
It was a lot closer than 4-0, but but the ladies got the job done, and then on Sunday we played Arizona State, and they're one of the best teams in the league, and they were undefeated at home, so that was a big win.
Man, huge. Yeah. And that one was 4-3, so that one was close.
Yeah, and we lost the doubles point, and we were down in many of the singles matches, and but that's kind of been the story of the season. These players just don't quit. No matter what the score is, the situation, they just keep competing, and that's as a coach, that's all you can ask for. Is just get a group of young people to just give everything they have and not think about the result.
Yeah. Well, you've come back more often than you haven't. What's it like when you lose the doubles point? Mm-hmm. Is that like giving up 5 runs in the first inning and you're fighting uphill a little bit? What's that like?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely not ideal, but at the same time, I think great teams, handle adversity well, and they respond to adversity. So we've never put too much emphasis on the doubles point. We've put appropriate amount of emphasis on it. We obviously want to win the point. We want to get a strong start, but it's all about who finishes matches, not how you start the matches. So that's been our mantra: is just don't quit and keep going right till the end.
Good. Are there some schools or some coaches, I guess more accurately, that just put more emphasis on doubles?
Yeah. I would say the vast majority of programs that's where they put all their eggs.
Really?
Yeah, they really believe that doubles point is, it's bigger than the 14% that
it's 1 point.
It's 1 point.
Yeah.
And matches are typically 3 hours long, so it's not all about. It would be like in football. You're saying we have to win the first quarter.
Yeah.
Well, there's 3 other quarters too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We put enough emphasis on it, but of course we want to win that point every time. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you always been that way?
Yes.
Not overemphasizing the doubles point?
Yes. I think I've been criticized over the course of my career that we didn't win as many doubles points as everyone else would like to see, but some of that too is just the quality of your team serving. And if your team doesn't serve as well, it's kind of that puts you at a disadvantage in doubles.
Okay.
So, look, we're just trying to make our tennis players better tennis players, and that impacts singles and doubles. So that's kind of our philosophy.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So a successful doubles team is a team that serves really well.
Yeah, you have to serve well.
Yeah.
So this year, the doubles points we've lost. We just haven't served to the level that is necessary to win those points.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, you lost the doubles point to Arizona State and beat them 4-3. So.
Exactly. Well, and the other side of it is I don't know many programs that have come back from being, from losing the doubles point, and also we've had plenty of situations where we've been down 3-0, 3-1, and come back and won the match, 4-3. So that's also a strength.
It's very much a strength.
That's a strength, and I think our competition knows that we're never out of it, and that's also a psychological part to that too.
Good. All right, how is your lineup been set pretty well? At this point in the year, everything's set.
I would say pretty set. We may move a spot here and there,
Okay.
and then of course our doubles. We're still experimenting with some combinations, but recently our singles shifted a little bit because Nanaka Sato earned a spot at number 5 singles. So and she's done very well. So I like to have a really deep team. I want all the players to feel like they have an opportunity to play if they earned it. Mm-hmm. And so we don't really – I never want anybody to get complacent and feel like, okay, I have my spot and it doesn't matter what I do. We want players playing hard all the time, and the best way to do that is if they feel like there's another player that can step in and take over that role. So, yeah.
And so internal competition is it's always ongoing.
Yes,
huh?
That's right. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
That's one of our sayings. So, yeah, we want to have a deep team, and everybody on our team knows that they can contribute and they'll get the opportunity if they earn it.
Good. Tell us about Nanaka, who has obviously been playing well, maybe playing better than she was earlier.
Yeah. Nanaka is a true freshman from Japan. This was a big step for her to come to college and to be a part of Baylor University. That I think that was something that a year ago she wasn't even sure of. And we got her to come on a visit after the U.S. Open Junior tournament, which she almost won the doubles in that tournament. She came on a visit and she fell in love with the place and fell in love with the people. And it took, I would say, a little over a semester for her to really kind of settle in and feel comfortable. And once she kind of settled in, felt comfortable, English kept improving. Now she's really playing well. So it's really fun to see her growth, and we're just really proud of her that she stuck with it, because that's a big change, to come all the way from Japan here, and we don't have any Japanese players on our team.
Yeah.
So. She was alone with her thoughts a lot of times, but she's a great kid. So
I can't imagine. Really, I can't imagine how tough that would be.
Yes,
with English as your second language,
no doubt.
and everything else.
Yeah, and usually we have student athletes that may have a fellow country person on their team, so they have an outlet.
Yeah.
She didn't have that. Now, thank God, we have a really great golfer, Sarah, on the women's golf team, and that was a connection for her. But it's different when you have a teammate,
Right.
So,
do they room together by chance?
they don't room together,
Okay.
but I know they're buddies.
They're
and
around.
Nanaka's pretty quiet around us, but when she finds a fellow Japanese friend, I mean, look out. She changes. She lights up. So,
Wow, good deal.
Yeah.
We are live at Rudy's. We continue with Coach Joey Scrivano, Baylor women's tennis coach, and mentioned prior to the break, congratulations to one of your players, Christina Tiglia, named the Big 12 Women's Player of the Week. What a great honor.
Yeah, she really deserving. She was on the court for about 4 hours battling at Arizona State, and obviously without her efforts, we wouldn't have won that match. So she's been terrific all year. She's just such a fighter. We love having her. So
wow.
Yeah.
So Colin Purtle tells me she won the clincher at Arizona State.
Yeah.
You said she was on the courts for 4 hours plus and went to a third set. So that would have been tied 3-3. So whoever won that matchup was going to win the match.
Yeah, it all came down to her, and just a tremendous effort on her part, and she's been kind of on the verge of a breakthrough match like that. So it was great to see that finally come through for her and for our team, and her teammates love her, and they were really, really excited that she was the one that pulled us across the finish line.
Wow, she was 2-0 in doubles last week, 1-0 in singles, and in your matches out in Arizona. She's a senior also.
Yes.
Where's she from?
She's from Milan, Italy.
Oh, okay, very nice.
So she's a fellow Italian. Yeah, she's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So your seniors will be recognized on Saturday, the match against TCU. Looks like you got 1, 2, 3, 4 seniors to recognize.
Yeah, we
have
a
good group.
Yeah, it is a great group. It's a big class, and they've all just contributed in their own way to the program. Christina came in as a senior and she's just been tremendous. She's just brought a lot of fire and passion to the team. Luba Kostenko has been with us for 3 years. She was a transfer from Syracuse, and she's from Ukraine, and she's just her progress as a tennis player. She just improved so much. Today was the first day she hit a serve over 100 miles an hour.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it was an exciting day. She was pretty excited. So she got into that 100 mile an hour club.
Wow.
Luba's been terrific. She was ranked as high as number 7 in doubles this past year.
Wow.
With Christina. Then Sierra Berry, a Texan from Frisco, Texas. She's been terrific. She transferred from the University of South Florida, and she's playing primarily doubles for us this year, but she's been a big part of our team. And then last but not least, Brooke Thompson, who has been with us for 4 years and has been a player sort of like the sixth man in basketball. She's just been ready to go whenever we need her, and she's stayed prepared whenever we needed her, and that's not an easy position to be in, but she's really embraced that, and just a great teammate, and just really thankful for her. We wouldn't be in the position we are as a team right now, as a program, without Brooke Thompson. So, wow. Yeah, just super proud of her.
That's great. 4 great seniors. How do you do senior day? Do you do it before the match? You do it after?
Yeah, we do it after,
right.
Because before, right. I'm going to be a wreck.
Right.
So it's really for me, not for the girls to do it after. It's just such an emotional time, and these kids become your family, and I can't even think about it most of the time because it's hard to imagine your kids leaving home.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like for me as a coach. I just feel like, gosh, I got these kiddos, leaving Baylor, leaving their second home, and it's really hard. You spend a lot of time with them, you develop a bond with them, and it is really difficult to see them leave or even think about that. So we do it after we celebrate them, and then the true senior day is the last day they're on campus.
Right.
So that's even harder, Ooh. But so we're just thankful. This was Christina, Luba, Sierra, Brookie. They're just as good of a class, senior class that we've ever had here.
Wow, that's saying a lot. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
You're ranked number 23 in the nation this week. That's tremendous. TCU on Saturday. Then the Big 12 championships begin next weekend here in Waco. That's going to be big.
Yeah, it's amazing to be hosting an event like that. It'll be great for the community to have all those teams here. We have 16 women's teams. I believe we have 10 men's teams. So a lot of tennis players are going to be in Waco next weekend. So that's exciting.
Do the men's? I don't know this. Men's and women's simultaneous? They're going on all at the same time.
Yeah, same time.
We'll have a lot of tennis players here in what we like to call Tennis Town, USA.
Yeah.
I think it's Tennis Town, USA now.
Home of college tennis.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's pretty special. You think. Where Baylor tennis was, a few decades ago to where we are now is pretty remarkable. Yeah.
And hosting these conference championships and NCAA championships, gosh, that is so big. That's just huge.
Yeah, it's huge, and it just says so much about our administration. Obviously, the programs, our community. We support tennis here really well. Yeah. And, we're just real thankful that tennis matters at Baylor.
Yeah. Very fun. Continuing with Coach Joey Scrivano, Baylor women's tennis coach, with some questions from the audience. You ready?
Nice.
Roy is great with the questions tonight.
That's our
Thank
guy.
you very much, Roy. And Roy's out there at the Herd Tennis Center a bunch. And Ann, both
absolutely.
Roy and Ann.
Yes.
So
yeah, they're amazing.
We appreciate you all very much.
Thank you.
Roy asked, when did you start collecting tennis rackets, and what is the oldest one that you have?
Great question.
Great question.
So this is also a loaded question because Roy gave me one of his old Jack Kramer tennis rackets, and it's in great condition. Wood racket.
Yes.
Even had the brace to make sure it doesn't warp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had those special.
Kind of like a vise that you
like
put
a vice,
on there.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was amazed at just the quality, the condition it was, and it says Roy Evans on it too, so that makes it even cooler.
On the racket or on the
vice, on
really?
the press,
yeah.
on the press, yeah. So no, but that was really neat that we had this conversation about old wooden tennis rackets, and he said, I have one if you want it. So
nice.
It's in my office now. So thanks, Roy.
Fair question. How old would that be, Roy? 66.
Wow.
Nice.
That may be the oldest
Is
one I
that
have.
the oldest one?
It may be. It may be, yeah. I'm trying to think. I love the Jack Kramer racket.
Yeah.
The Dunlop Max Ply is one of
Okay.
my favorites. That's what Rod Laver played with, and John McEnroe. And then the T2000, which was not a wood racket, it was aluminum that Jimmy Connors played with. So I love those three rackets.
Wow.
Are my favorite.
Yeah.
So I collect those, and I think I started collecting them maybe about 10 years ago. So they're not easy to find. They're
Right.
really hard to find, And I've been fortunate, though. People like Roy have been so gracious and generous to just, pass them along. And I promise I take good care of them. And they're not. And I've told my sons, I'm like, you're gonna have to keep these rackets going here, But they're. I love that era of tennis with wood rackets. I thought the game was better in a lot of ways. So when I see a wood racket, it really brings kind of a good feelings when I see a wood racket.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten about the press that you had on that, and you screwed it in
That's
tight
right.
so it
Yes.
wouldn't warp, right?
Wouldn't warp.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to have the press on there. And I even have rackets we use for practice. I'll make the team play with wood rackets.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Just to remind them that there is actual technique in this game, and it's not all about just playing with your wrist. And so it's amazing when they have a wood racket in their hand, they do have to. They automatically start playing with their body better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the wood rackets, you have to be so precise. Yeah. And now with the rackets are just bigger, the strings have changed, and you can just swat the ball with your wrist too much. So the wood racket really helps bring their focus back, and it's pretty
That's
fun.
a great coaching technique. Do you have trouble finding wood rackets to practice with, or are they out there?
I have to it's sort of like, with Roy, if it's a little bit older racket and it's not in a collector condition, then I'll use that with the team. Yeah. But the press is important, because if you forget to put the press, it'll warp, so. Yeah, and the presses aren't easy to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So it's
all right.
neat.
Great question, Roy. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for adding to his collection. Another question, what is your most memorable trip to Asia? And then what is your most memorable trip in the past year?
Wow. Well, the last trip to Asia was very memorable, not for a good reason. I got a parasite, actually, on the way there, and that was rough. It was so it was on the flight over, and I had it for like 11 days. And then I got back here, and my doctor was like, you're fine. Don't worry. It'll just kind of run its course. I'm like, it hasn't run its course.
11 days later.
So then they figured out that it was a really just unique parasite that's normal in Asia, but here it's not. So that took me a while to get over. I lost a ton of weight over Christmas, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately, that was the most memorable trip. But outside of that, my trips to Asia have been terrific. Love the people. We've been able to recruit really well there. With Na Dong and Nanaka and Wenfei, they've just been terrific kids, and they're true student athletes. They love school, and they obviously love tennis. So it's been a good place to recruit. So.
When you're that far away from home, that far away from the United States, do you run into other college coaches that are over there doing the same thing?
Yeah, especially if you start having success recruiting in a particular place, coaches start to follow you.
I got you.
So
right.
when we signed this really good recruiting class, all of a sudden you see all these other schools there trying to do the same thing. I think we were one of the first to break through in that market, and now we're going to probably have a lot of competition. But at the end of the day, I think it comes down to relationships, and I know our girls really love it here.
Right.
They love their teammates and coaches and professors and the community, so that gives you an edge in recruiting.
All right, great questions. Thank you very much. Final 30 seconds. Saturday, 2 o'clock, TCU, Senior Day. This is a big one for you. It's going to be warm. Do you see it might hit 90 on Saturday?
Boy. The
How about
summer's
that?
back.
Yeah,
Summer's back.
It is here, but a nice crowd would be nice to have out there on Saturday.
Yeah, I would love to have that, and I know it makes such a big difference with our student athletes, especially the seniors. To see our Baylor community come out and support them, that would mean the world to them.
Good.
So,
Hope that happens.
yes.
Good luck Saturday and beyond with all the hosting coming up in the postseason. Joey Scrivano, Baylor women's tennis coach, our guest.